Evening, everyone. Calan coming in to you from atop the hill, my favorite park, after another beautiful sunset. And just wanted to connect. Still building the channel. Everyone's getting to know me. And I wanted to discuss something that came up in a message earlier this week. Regarding Forged in Loss, somebody mentioned to me this doesn't look like the traditional self-help book that I've expected. Your formatting's different. Your chapters are broken into smaller sections. Was that a design choice or was that a print error? And I want to let you know it was intentional. When I wrote that book, I wrote it for myself where I was at 3 a.m. after not sleeping for days, panic attacks, and really just wishing I had something I could grab a hold to and get small victories from. So, right off the bat, if you receive Ashen Anvil's Forged in Loss, you're going to open the pages and realize that it's not formulated like a normal chapter book. During the time of my forging and breaking, I realized it's really hard to read a regularly formatted book when you haven't slept in 3 days. So I really wanted to look at this book from a design aspect and say, what can I do to help with that? Well, the first thing I did is I made the books less cluttered per page. What that means to you is, even if you haven't had your coffee yet, or if you're one of those people that's up at 3:30 wishing they could sleep, that book is easy for you to follow along with. Also, this book isn't written in your typical text form where it's, well, this study produced by states that you're going through a sleepless night because you're at this phase of recovery and acceptance. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counselor. I'm writing to you as a man who had his own personal journey and wants to sit with you through yours. So when you get the book, I want you to look at it like that. When you pick that book up, picture me sitting down next to you. And it's conversational. I tell you from my point of view, but we're really there to help you with yours. And the sections are much smaller so that it's easier to track your progress. The book itself is long and it flows and it all has context and it all will make sense if you are reading it. But it's not. The comment I got was that I've read a lot of self-help books and this doesn't look like that. Well, it's not supposed to. I went to a counselor. I had someone help me through my grief. And I remember some were very clinical. But the people that I've talked to while researching this, that have been through things similar to my own, talked about how the real connection came when it was a conversation, when it wasn't formal, when there weren't benchmarks or diagnoses involved. And that's what the book goes for. It's, if you sat down next to a mentor, a friend, someone who had been there before, and you had that conversation, that you would connect with it. Another reason I chose the formatting is because sometimes at 3:30 in the morning you just need small victories. So with the way those pages are, you'll find that if you sit long enough and you're reading, when you close that book, you're going to have made some serious progress on the pages. And that may seem small or silly to some, but when your whole life fell apart and you're looking for small victories, if you can make yourself sit down and focus on something that brings you comfort or understanding or some kind of relief, and you realize that you've gone through a good chunk of it, you feel like you accomplished something. And that whole book is formatted for those little wins. And I understand it starts off right at loss. It's heavy. A lot of you might be like, Calan, I've gone through that part, I'm further through. Then take a moment to catch your bearings in the beginning, and if you don't want to start in the beginning, it's too raw for you, go to where you think you are. I give you quotes in the beginning of the book to kind of gauge where you're at. And I want you to be fair and kind to yourself. One thing I know from rebuilding and reforging myself to where I am now, and I'm successful in my personal career, still working on this book, still working on building a social media brand. That's incoming, but we're going to keep grinding on that. But professionally, outside of that, my 9-to-5 job, I'm doing quite well. My friendships are strong. My relationships with family and friends are very well maintained, I would say. But I do remember slipping back into some old stages of processing. So if you read a chapter, you make some progress, and then you suddenly feel like you're not there anymore, it is okay to go back to the section of the book that resonates with you. It's a jungle gym recovery. It's not a linear path. There's a direction, but you might stumble left, stumble right, you might fall back. It happens to all of us. We're only human. And if you take all of that into account, I really do feel like you're going to see that Forged in Loss is like nothing else you've ever had in your hand. And I want you to know the whole purpose of that book is to be what I needed when I couldn't find it. So if you go into it with your mind open, the message will resonate. I know this because individuals who are not myself, who had no reason to lie, have told me it helped. Have told me they understood because they could meet me where they were, and I tried to meet them where they were. So please, if you do purchase Forged in Loss, know that this journey may be short for some, painfully long for others, but that book is designed to sit with you through all of it. And if you pick up a copy and you go to pick up the book at 3 a.m. when all the lights on, or maybe you're in the rebuilding stage and you're just starting to realize, hey, I laughed today, and that was genuine, and I don't know where that came from, and I feel guilty because I've been holding on to staying closed down and locked down for so long. Or perhaps you're finally at the point in your life where you're starting to make plans again, and you've realized that the new version of you is here, and you realize it cost you the old one. That's okay. Find the chapter in the book that resonates with you. It's all there. From the beginning of the grief, when it all hits you like a wave, like a bomb going off that buries you in the crater, to that moment of hopeful contemplation at the end where you realize you can move your life forward and that it's going to be okay. I hope this helps clarify things, and as we build the brand and engagement builds, I would love to have a mailing list, a chat, something that can also supplement the book, where if you are on at 3 a.m. and the book is helping but you need a little bit more, we build a community where there's always someone online around the world, and you can jump in the group chat and we can support each other. It can be jokes, it could be an understanding, it could just be a place where you can come as you are. So I just want to say thank you for following me on this journey. If you've already picked up a copy of one of the books, I appreciate you. It means the world to me that I can be making a difference in your life and I can sit through what you're going through. And while I haven't discussed Grace and Iron or Forged Connection in this video, they're also available for you. And I'll make subsequent videos later on, but just remember, your journey is a solitary one only if you make it one. And that the biggest thing you can do for yourself is forgive yourself and show yourself grace as you go through the journey of rediscovery, of loss, of grief, and of rebirth. You will rise, you will reignite, and you will rebuild your life. and it is a privilege to stand by you when you do it. So, this is Calan, letting you know that another day has passed, and tomorrow is another opportunity to make it better than today. Follow some of the content on the pages if you need a motivation. I've posted some reels I feel will resonate. And as always, thank you for tuning into Ash and Anvil and the Forge Master. Have a good night.